Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for clicking on my yoga video. If you're looking for a fast-paced yoga routine for beginners and for weight loss, you've come to the right video. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to start off with a chair pose. You're going to bend your knees, reach for the ceiling, stretching out your arms, reach for the sky, and as you put your butt back, make sure that it is back far enough so that you can still see your toes when you look down. Make sure your thighs are touching. Your knees are touching. Now we're going to bend forward, touching the ground. Now we're going to come halfway up with hands on our knees. And then we're going to grab our elbows with opposite hands. Let your head fall and just hang into the air towards the mat. Put your fingertips down on the mat. Look straight up at the wall in front of you with your neck coming up, rising up and straight ahead. Now we're going to plant our palms onto the mat. Fingers stretched widely, and we're going to jump or step back. Now we are in a plank pose, and we are going to do some side planks from here. So first, we're going to take our left foot, put it over our right, reach up for the ceiling, looking up at our hand, come back down to the plank. Same thing on the other side. Right foot on top of your left. Reach up and look up at your hand at the ceiling. Come back down to a plank pose. Stay here for a little bit. Now we're going to make sure that our hands are spread out and right under our shoulder blades. We're going to start lowering ourselves down to the mat slowly. You can use your knees to drop down before you come down if you need to. Untuck your toes. Place your hands next to under your shoulder blades and towards your shoulder blades in. Right at your sides. Keep them right at your sides. Start lifting your chest up, looking up at the ceiling into a cobra. Take it easy here if you've never done it before. This is a baby cobra. You might want to start off with that so you don't hurt your back. Keep your elbows bent. Now we're going to come up to a downward facing dog. Plant your heels onto the ground. Relax your head and lower it, hanging below your elbows. Keep your feet as flat as they can be. I still have trouble with this. It takes a lot of time. And then now we are going to put our right foot up to our hands. So we're just going to bring it up to the middle of our hands, between our hands, and then we're going to come up into a warrior one. Reach both hands up to the sky. Elbows away from your ears. Pinkies in, facing each other. This helps how you should be doing it. And then we're going to drop down into a warrior two, bending the front right leg. Hands parallel to the side. And then we're going to make prayer hands at our heart. And we are going to twist into a stretch, resting our upper tricep, bicep, our upper arm. We're going to rest that on our thigh. Keep your prayer hands at your heart and look up at the ceiling, stretching your chest. Okay, now we're going to come back to a warrior one. Warrior two. Keep it here for a little bit. Now we're going to bring our hands down. Put the right foot back. Come down, drop down, untuck your toes. Hands under your shoulder blades at your sides and come up to a cobra, stretching that out. Okay, come up to a downward facing dog. Try to get the heels flat on the ground, head hanging lower than your elbows. Now we're going to take our left foot, bring it between our hands. Come up to a warrior one, reaching for the sky, pinkies in, and elbows away from the ears. Reaching up, looking up. Drop down into a warrior two. Your right foot that's stretched out should be turned on its side. Hopefully you can see. And then we're going to prayer. Hands at our heart, and we're going to twist and rest our upper arm, our tricep on our thigh. Hands prayers at the heart. Look up at the ceiling. Hands back down firmly to the mat. Step the left foot back. Lower yourself down into another downward facing dog. Cobra. Lift up. Make sure your toes are untucked. And then we're going to come into that downward facing dog I was so anxious to get to. Feet flat on the ground, head below the elbows. Now we're going to hover our knees, bend them, and hover them over the mat for a little bit. Make sure your hands are right under your shoulder blades. Drop your knees on all fours. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, arching up your back to the ceiling. Down into a cow. Belly down towards the mat.